Questions are raised about whether the new UWP leadership will repose trust in the leader of the parliamentary opposition. Moves are afoot to make Rodney Bay a safer recreational spot. And say no to drugs this summer. The dust is beginning to settle, as they say, and it's time for the new leader of the United Workers' Party to get down to business. His is an interesting task, given the admitted deep divisions within the ranks. But for observers, the real challenge lies in the fact that Alan Chastney is a political leader without parliamentary power. Hello everyone, welcome to the CTV News on Calabash TV. I am Lisa Joseph. The UWP's new leadership will have to rely on Cashie's North MP, Stephenson King, in his capacity as leader of the opposition in Parliament to forcefully represent the party's position on policies. Cashie South East MP Guy Joseph openly backed Alan Chastney's bid for party leader. On Sunday, Mr. Joseph stated that he voted for change, fresh blood and new faces to give hope to supporters for the future. The Cashie South East MP, however, brushed off suggestions that the change process is still in motion where the position of the leader of the parliamentary opposition is concerned.
Well, that is still very early days to make a decision on this. I think that as a team, we looked at the situation and we agreed that we are still United Workers' Party supporters. And I'm sure by next week, you would see a different situation emerging. Because there is going to be a healing process, there is going to be a process of reconciliation, and I think when we have gone through these stages, we would be in a better position to make a determination on how things move forward from there.
So your plan is for Stephenson King to remain as leader of the parliamentary opposition?
I have no difficulties with that presently. Like I said, I don't know what the future is going to hold in terms, because at the end of the day, the Honorable Stephenson King, as an individual and a parliamentary representative, also will have his say in what happens. There's a parliamentary caucus that usually meets, and then it is through this caucus we are going to make a decision and a determination. And now we have a structured party. Now we have an executive with the full complement of persons. It will not just be parliamentarians making decisions on behalf of the party, but we would follow the Constitution, and every decision made would be guided by the Constitution of the United Workers' Party.
Meantime, Stephenson King closed this chapter as leader of the UWP and Prime Minister on a high note. Addressing delegates, Mr. King said his approach and performance as Prime Minister were acclaimed by most as surpassing Dr. Kenny Anthony's. According to Mr. King, St. Lucia is on the brink of economic collapse and a rudderless ship, with the government clueless as to how to salvage it.
In the worst global economic times, St. Lucia achieved annual economic growth rates of 2% from 2007 to 2011, making St. Lucia the largest economy in the OECS, a position lost in 1998 under an SLP government. Now that the Labour Party is back in power, under the same leader, our country is well on course to lose its number one ranking.
The recent downgrade in St. Lucia's credit rating by Carrie Chris, Mr. King added, is indicative of the poor management Labour is subjecting the country to.
The IMF, in its 2011 staff report, painted a favorable picture of St. Lucia's economic performance, citing the fact that St. Lucia experienced one of the fastest recoveries in the region. In a similar report released this year, the IMF reminded the SLP government of how well St. Lucia was able to weather the global economic recession. Of course, that was under my administration. Well, we already know that the SLP government is reversing all the macroeconomic gains achieved by the former UWP government under my leadership.
Stevenson King there. And Dr. Keith Mondesi, the former Ancillary Canries MP, on Sunday withdrew from the contest for second deputy chairman. The former MP said he had been overseas and unable to canvass for the vote, nonetheless recognized the need for a change of guard.
We need a revamp. We need some serious people that have a vision. You don't have people's vision. You must have your own vision and add to your vision. That was what Sir John had that made him a great leader. And as I said before, I am going to quote Mark Antony again. Not that I love Caesar less, but I love Rome more. And that will speak for itself.
According to Dr. Mondesi, the UWP and the nation by extension needs a leader who is compassionate and has a vision for the development of all nationals.
About 80% of our population is not rich. And you have to consider that. Many things that you have to help them with, you must help them with. That leader have to understand what is important in terms of moving this country forward. That is not industry. Agriculture is what we got to need. And if a leader does not focus on agriculture to bring this country back, a country that cannot feed its nation, its people, is doomed to fail. So my belief is that I will instruct whoever is there to focus on agriculture.
The government of St. Lucia has announced that the President of the Republic of China on Taiwan is scheduled to lead a delegation to St. Lucia, arriving on the evening of Thursday, 15 August. The delegation will include the Secretary General of the National Security Council, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and journalists from various media houses. This will be President Ma's first state visit to St. Lucia since he assumed office in 2008, and the second visit to St. Lucia by a sitting president since the resumption of diplomatic ties between the two countries in 2007. On Friday, 16 August, President Ma will call on Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, Governor General, as well as Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony to engage views on issues of mutual interest. The two leaders will also sign a joint communique signaling their respective government decision or desire to foster closer ties in the future. The government of St. Lucia has also extended to President Ma the courtesy and honor of addressing a joint sitting of the Senate and House of Assembly of St. Lucia. While based in St. Lucia, President Ma will also lead a one-day visit to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He will depart St. Lucia on Sunday, 18 August. You're watching the CTV News. Stay with us when we come back, making Rodney Bay a safer area. Growing development in Rodney Bay has prompted the demarcation for the beach area so that persons who participate in various maritime activities can do so where they and others can be safe. We get details in this report.
As popular beaches in the Grosselet area become increasingly congested with maritime operations, safety management becomes a more and more challenging task. As a result of the rapid development, the Ministry of Tourism and the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority drafted policy for the zoning and demarcation of the Radway Beach and Pigeon Point area for more efficient marine management.
The more hotels you have and the more commercial use on the water you will have, there's a greater need to demarcate areas for security. So the emphasis here is not to displace any user, but rather to propose demarcation so that we can have structure and we can have security.
A presentation was made to stakeholders in the community recently on what measures are most fitting and where demarcation points would be placed along the stretch to ensure the safety of all involved in maritime activities. Parliamentary representative for Grosselet noted that Grosselet's beach is one of its major assets and significant changes need be made with its management in the thrust of development of the constituency.
We see the various users and in some cases the conflicting uses of the bay. And I believe that arriving at a marine management authority that can sit down with you, the fishers, with the hoteliers, sitting down and mapping the way forward. What it is we do in the Bay, how we do it, and where we do it is so important. The safety issues are important.
One of the fishermen from the community of Grosley says that the project is fitting to instate order in water-based activities.
This is one thing that I recommend and I will appreciate, because I believe it is safe for each and every individual living in the constituency where I come from. And I believe it was timely that they put something in place instead of everybody just doing what they want in Gross Island waters.
Over the past few years, the absence of demarcation points has proven fatal, as 9 deaths were recorded where vessels collided with swimmers within the Rodney Bay area. For the CTV News, I am Jessie Leonce.
The National Workers Union, the NWU, has accused the Ministry of Labour of hindering its industrial relations by failing to respond to recognition claims it submitted to it in May and June this year. The NWU took this grievance to the Minister for Labour, Dr. Robert Lewis, in a letter dated July 26, 2013. According to the letter, the first of 2 claims was filed on May 3, 2013 and relates to the Renwick and Company firm. The other on June 11 and involves non-managerial staff of the Alternative Security Service Limited. The NWU said neither has been resolved. According to the union, it also informed that it expects to provide an update on the Alternative Security Service Limited claim at a meeting with staff on the 2nd of August. The minister is yet to respond to the union's letter. The Rotary Club of St. Lucia, in collaboration with the Community Relations Branch of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, will be conducting an anti-drug summer camp for students who live within the Castries Basin. The camp is aimed at providing at-risk students with positive alternatives and opportunities to engage in constructive activity. The students will have an opportunity to take part in a variety of holistic activities led by several credible presenters.
We have people like Jimmy James coming in the mornings with the children, Tai Chi to centre and motivate and calm children before their day of teaching, the students. We have Marissa Skeet of the Art of Living on the second group, the older children, to do meditation and yoga. These are things we've never introduced before, and we think their effects would be very calming and open up the children's mind to be more receptive. We have some very nice, prominent people coming to talk. We have Fiona Myers, Rumilia King, Fortuna Anthony, Philip Misador from Turning Point, and a whole host of police officers who are going to be teaching the children as well. And
the camp had been conducted in the past solely by the Rotary Club for the last 18 years. However, they are of the view that the approaches in the camp must be modernized and community-based, and therefore they have introduced the police force. The camp will be conducted in 2 phases, one from the 5th to the 8th of August for primary school students, and the second from the 12th to the 15th of August for secondary school students.
Hopefully by the end of the summer program, students would have gained valuable information on the concept of drugs and its effects, dangers of the internet, sexual abuse, sexual offenses, character building, the law on you, bullying, crime prevention, types of violence and its effects, self-esteem and conflict resolution.
A similar camp will be held in Labrie and coordinated by the officers of the Labrie Police Station. The International Police Organization Interpol says it has launched a new tool enabling Caribbean countries to engage information, or rather to exchange information on fraudulent identity and travel documents. Known as Dial Doc, Interpol said that the technology, launched in collaboration with the group of 8 of the world's most industrialized powers, that's the G8, makes it easy for officials in any of Interpol's 190 member countries to check if a travel document is fake through comparison with worldwide images of counterfeit documents. Until now, Interpol said its member countries have circulated their own alerts relating to fraudulent travel documents. The launch of Dial Doc represents a milestone in the fight against forged documents. Thank you so much for staying with the CTV News. Caribbean Awning Limited has introduced a new product on the market. The PVC panels are said to be not just of regional standards, but also meet all the international requirements. More in this report.
The increased incidence of termites on island destroying property and the soil deterioration of some products has prompted the Caribbean Awning Production Company Limited to add 2 new products to its line to eliminate those common gripes. This past week, the company officially launched a new PVC panel for ceiling and walls and aluminum railings in conjunction with other production companies, Sajib Group of Suriname and Rolling Shield of the United States.
We thought that this was an opportune time to diversify, but I have been looking at these products now for the last couple of years and visiting the various factories and seeing what's available. What we want to say to the people out there is these products are going to make our life much easier. In terms of construction, it'll be far superior, it'll be far easier, it's going to be economical, and therefore all around the products are going to be the best that we can give, especially as far as a particular region is concerned.
The PVC panels for ceiling and walls have a 10-year warranty. They are UV resistant, fire rated Euro Class E, rot proof, protects against termites, easy to clean, easy to install and economical. The aluminum railings features a powder coated finish with 3 picket styles to choose from, 48-inch post spacing with a 42-inch total rail height. This high-quality railing is also easy to use and easy to install. It is approved and designed to comply with the high-velocity hurricane zone of the Florida Building Code.
The strength and durability, it's extremely strong, it lasts, and the warranty is actually 10 years. So, and I have seen one house here that has it. Recently I saw another one, and that particular ceiling has been in there for the last 11 years. And it has not changed color, and it still looks great.
Managing Director Paula Cauldron says that the introduction of these innovative and unique products will enhance the construction industry, reduce the cost of maintenance, and reduce the heat in our homes. In addition to the new products, Caribbean Awnings also launched its logo rebranding. The launch was held at the Bay Gardens Hotel with architects, engineers, and government representatives present. For the CTV News, I am Jessie Leonce.
And so we've just...
Thanks, Jessie, there with that report. Program note for you, extremely popular here on Calabash TV. That's the Food of 7 program with priest Kailash Leonce. So you can tune in right after the CTV News for a repeat of Sunday's broadcast. So don't forget the Food of 7 program with priest Kailash coming right up after the CTV News. I'm Lisa Joseph, as always, saying goodbye until we meet